Hi guys, good afternoon. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about the home buying process. Just a few things I've sort of picked up that I'd like to share with you as you make what is, at least for many of us, arguably the largest purchase of our lives, right? Buying a house. And these are things I have learned from my interactions with my clients, things I have picked up from the industry itself. Just a few things, you know, things, not really things that we want to keep in our minds as we approach this process. So number one, you you know you want to think about how you want to make your purchase. Are you going to the bank to get a loan to buy your house? Are you dipping into your savings if you have some savings? How exactly do you want to finance your purchase? And this is important because it has implications, as we are going to see, on a couple of things, right? So if you're going to go to the bank, then you obviously have to get a mortgage. And to obtain the mortgage, the bank or whatever lending institution that is going to make it's going to ask a couple of questions first of all, but they'll also ask for a few things. Amongst those things usually is certificate of title. Number one. So certificate of title then also has implications on the kind of property you want to acquire. Okay. Now, speaking about that, in Zambia we have traditional and then we have statutory land. Okay. If you're going to acquire property built on traditional land, it follows that you don't have certificate of title on that property. Sometimes you might have your certificate of occupancy from your local authority, other times not, but you don't have certificate of title. And if you don't have certificate of title and you want to go to your bank to ask for money, that complicates things a little bit. They will likely not give it to you. Okay, so then you might want to find an alternative asset, or think about your options. So if it's statutory land, in my experience at least, you will likely have to dip into your savings, okay? Or if it's, not statutory, if it's traditional land, yeah, you will likely have to dip into your savings to make the purchase. It's not saying that it wouldn't be as good a purchase, it's just land is land everywhere, but it's not the same as statutory land, and the policies and rules that govern it are entirely different as well. So that is point number one. You want to think about how you are financing the purchase, if you are financing the purchase. The second thing you want to think about is improvements on the property. Okay? If you're going to make improvements on a piece of land, if you're going to develop it, if you want to develop it further or whatever, you change it from some use, maybe from residential to commercial, from commercial to residential, or what have you, that also has implications on your purchase, or where you're purchasing it, what the zoning, so-called zoning, is in that particular area, etc., etc. So you'd have to check with your local authorities, check with your local council, and see what the zoning is in that particular area. See if it's possible you could change it to the kind of use that you want to use it. So I've seen people purchase residential properties that then later convert into commercial use, and vice versa. So you want to check with your local authorities and see what zoning you have on that particular property. What you don't want to do is put up so much of your money into acquiring the asset, and then you check with the zoning and realize that things are a little complicated. That's not to say that it cannot be changed, but it's not always the case. So you just want to check and be sure that you're able to do that in that particular area. That is the second one. The third and final one is you want to check what is on that property before you pay your money. You want to check with the Ministry of Lands to see if there are no caveats on it, there are no so-called encumbrances on the property. You could have a caveat on a property for several different reasons. It could have been used as collateral in a financial transaction. It could have been, it could be under dispute for whatever reasons, etc., etc. So you want to check, you want to verify the status of the property. Anybody can do that. You can go to the Ministry of Lands and have it looked at and see, the asset you're purchasing, so that you are all clear before you put your money out. So 3 basics. We could talk about more in the next video. I'll try and delve a little bit more into the other things that you want to think about, but 3 basics for this one on what you want to look out for or think about as you're making a home purchase. Thank you for listening, and catch you next time again.